One issue in this discussion is to think that science is generic, and science isn't generic. There's all kinds of science. I try to avoid getting into my own career, but perhaps for this time, I started as a research metallurgist in powdered metals. My peer review was, does it work consistently for the customer as it's supposed to work? There's no discussion, there's no argument. It either works or it doesn't work. Some of my work was in the lab, some of my work was with customers working through issues with the product. Nobody cared what my religious affiliation was, and it didn't matter what my religious affiliation was. A lot of science is like that. But then there's science that is more theoretical, and it is science trying to answer questions about things that we really can't directly prove. It's answering questions indirectly from evidence. Within that community of scientists, there are gatekeepers. There are editors of science magazines who will accept or reject articles for peer review, and those editors are predisposed to accept or reject based on worldview. And if you don't believe that, you're naive. There is science with an agenda. ICR is looking for evidence for creation. That's their job. Many paleontologists are looking for links to fill spaces, the plethora of space in the tree of evolution. That's what they're trying to do. That's their bias because that's what they're paid to do. A government agency will, for instance, mandate electric cars. You think they just did that out of ideology? I don't. I truly believe they did that because they were paid to do that. Somebody made a comment on here. If you can buy a politician, you can buy a scientist. And to circle back, there are scientists who work without bias, without political bias, without religious bias, to solve problems, simply to gain understanding. But to assume that defines all science is naive. And all I'm saying is be discerning. Think about your thoughts.